Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? If you remember, a couple weeks ago, I tried 4 of the Campbell's chunky spicy soups. And at least by my taste buds, none of them were really spicy. Which is good because I don't really like spicy. But I eat the spicy foods for you, the people, so you don't have to. So this week, I'm going to try 3 more of the Campbell's chunky spicy soups. Well, 2 of them are spicy, but one of them says jalapeno. So I'm assuming that might be a little bit spicy as well. So I'm going to try all of these for you, the people, so you don't have to. Each 19-ounce can costs $2.48. So let's start off with the Campbell's Chunky Spicy Chipotle Chicken and Corn Chowder, which is seasoned with chili pepper and chipotle adobo. And it's showing up as mild on the handy Dando's Campbell's Chunky Spice Meter. Here's the list of ingredients. The whole can of soup has 400 calories, 17 grams of total fat, 3 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 35 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,720 milligrams of sodium, 46 grams of carbohydrates, 6 grams of fiber, 4 grams of sugars, and 15 grams of protein. I'll tell you what, nothing says processed more than 1,720 milligrams of sodium. Now let's get the spicy chipotle chicken and corn chowder out of the can and into the pan. The color, the consistency, and the sound of this soup coming out of the pan was definitely not what I expected. I'll keep the rest of my thoughts to myself, but it's a free world. You, the people, can think what you want. So once it was thoroughly heated through, we gave it a mix and then got a big old spoonful, which appears to be chicken and potatoes. Oh, and I do see 1 kernel of corn. How are you going to call this corn chowder without more corn? Into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. Very minimal spice and less flavor, but the soup was creamy with good-sized potatoes that were perfectly cooked, along with a few bits of peppers and onions and decent-sized pieces of chicken that weren't too bad, even though they're a 4-meat slurry concoction. The main thing this soup is missing is flavor. If you added your own seasoning, some more hot sauce, and some rice or pasta, this would be a pretty good meal. But at that point, why don't you just make your own dinner instead of opening up a can of soup? This is just simply an average can of soup, which means I wouldn't throw it in the trash, but I also wouldn't pass up in a store in a pinch. And I'm giving Campbell's Chunky Spicy Chipotle Chicken and Corn Chowder a 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Campbell's Chunky Cheesy Jalapeno Burger with Bacon Bits Soup. It fills you right up. Let's have a party! Here's the list of ingredients, and this soup has MSG, so hopefully the flavor won't be missing. The whole can of soup has 560 calories, 36 grams of total fat, 9 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 45 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,720 milligrams of sodium, 44 grams of carbohydrates, 4 grams of fiber, 4 grams of sugars, and 14 grams of protein. And now let's get it out of the can and into the pan. See, once again, I'm a poet and didn't know it. My poetry's been pretty strong lately, so stick around if you want to hear more. I'll be here all week. So once our soup was thoroughly heated through, we gave it a good mix, then got a big old spoonful of burger, potatoes, and the cheese sauce with the bacon and the jalapeno peppers, and then into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. Now they had a decent spice, good flavor, it was very creamy like a queso, and it had a nice smoky flavor from the bacon. And the burger and the potatoes were good. This is much better than the previous one. But still I wouldn't call it spicy, but Campbell's didn't call it spicy on the label. But honestly, this one has more flavor and spice than the spicy one did. But I feel like this soup is begging to be served over mashed potatoes, rice, or some sort of pasta, or even tortilla chips. And I'm giving Campbell's Chunky Cheesy Jalapeno Burger with Bacon Bits Soup a 6 out of 10. Now for our final soup of the day is Campbell's Chunky Spicy Nashville-style Hot Chicken Soup, which is rated as spicy on the Campbell's Chunky Handy Dandy Spice Meter, which has big flavor with southern heat. Here's the list of ingredients, and it does not contain the magic seasoning this time, MSG. The whole can of Campbell's Chunky Spicy Nashville-style Hot Chicken Soup has 400 calories, 25 grams of total fat, 6 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 30 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,720 milligrams of sodium, 33 grams of carbohydrates, 4 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugars, and 13 grams of protein. Now we got our soup out of the can and into the pan, and now let's get it heated up. While our final soup of the day is heating up, if you, the people, could do these 3 things for me, the person, I'd really appreciate it. Once our soup was thoroughly heated through, we gave it a good mix, and then scooped up our Nashville-style hot chicken, the potatoes, and the various vegetables along with the broth. And then into the old pie hole, and down the gullet it went. Finally, we're starting to hit a good level of flavor and spice. And when I say good levels of flavor and spice, I mean it basically tastes like a mild hot sauce, or maybe a medium hot sauce. It's definitely not a blow your head off hot sauce, but an enjoyable hot sauce. It was almost as spicy as the Chunky's Ghost Pepper chicken noodle soup, which wasn't horribly spicy. And again, it had decent sized pieces of well-cooked potatoes and decent sized pieces of 4 meat slur concocted cube chicken, which were not awful. And I'm also going to give Campbell's Chunky Spicy Nashville style hot chicken soup a 6 out of 10. And just like the previous 2 Campbell's Chunky soups, this soup was begging to be poured over something, like rice, mashed potatoes, or pasta. And Campbell's, if you're listening, please add bigger pieces of vegetables to make the soup heartier and give it more sustenance. And I'm going to go out on a limb that Campbell's is listening. Please stop using 4 meat slur concocted chicken. Use real chicken like other brands do. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.